Hi, Richard here from Paddle Arrow. Today we're going to be tempering chocolate. Seems to be a lot of controversy on how to temper chocolate, but for me this is probably the easiest way to temper chocolate. Today I'm going to be using a granite table. If you don't have a granite table, that's okay. You can just use a clean Arborite table to make it on. Okay, so I have here my dark chocolate, and now this is a Belgian chocolate. Okay, 60% cocoa butter. We also have a white chocolate, which I can show later on tempering. It's pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit cooler. So now I have my chocolate in a little box here. Now this box is just made from a light bulb, and pretty much is all you need to heat up chocolate. I have it on a dimmer switch. The dimmer switch keeps the bulb from getting too hot or the chocolate too hot. Now I have this chocolate around 40 degrees Celsius, which is good for the melted chocolate. I pour out 2/3 of the chocolate onto the table, and I spread it out to cool it down. And basically what we're doing is just cooling the chocolate down. Now there are other methods. You can seed the chocolate with other already tempered chocolate. However, I do find that method tends to make the chocolate lumpy, especially if you make and put too much of the seeded chocolate into the chocolate. As it's cooling, it won't melt the chunks of already tempered chocolate down, and you end up with a bit lumpy chocolate. So this is pretty simple. Obviously this is a little larger than you do at home. I have about 12 kilos of chocolate sitting here, so at home you might do 1 kilo of chocolate, and using an Arborite table is perfectly fine. Just spread it out on the table. If you can get one of these, I picked this up, stainless steel scraper. It's great for moving the chocolate around so that it cools a little quicker. And just scrape it up. Yeah. Okay. Just want to move it around. Do this once, spread it out again, just so that it can cool evenly. You don't want areas where it's getting too cool in one spot. And you'll notice as it's cooling, it's going to start to thicken. As it thickens, that's when you're going to need to throw it into the 1/3 of the warm chocolate. You make sure this is cooled enough. If it's still too warm, when you add it to the other warm, the chocolate will not temper, will actually lose its temper, and you'll have to do it again. Now what I'm looking for, the chocolate to get a little crinkle in this when I draw the blade through. Now it's still a little bit warm, so I'll just continue on until I get it a little bit cooler. It does help to have a cool room as well. Not necessarily, cold. It's just, 21 degrees Celsius is probably a good temperature, somewhere around there. 70, what is that, 72, 73 degrees, somewhere there is okay. Anything above that in your room will be too warm. You can see as it gets thicker, it starts to crinkle. You see the crinkle in it? It's just very light. You can use a thermometer if you want. You would need to bring this down to about 27 degrees Celsius, which is a good cool temperature for the chocolate. And then with the 1/3 chocolate, we're going to raise it up and not beyond 31 degrees Celsius. Anything higher and the temper you'll lose, and it will have to be tempered again. Cooled and then warmed up slightly. Okay, now you can see how thick it got. and how it crinkles as I move it around. This chocolate is pretty much ready for adding into the other third. Oops. They will come out when I mix it in to the warmer chocolate. Just stir it in. Well, you really want to make sure that you stir quite well. I still have my heat on, and that's only because I have quite a bit of chocolate here. It will hold it in a tempered state for about 4 to 5 hours because of the light bulb. I can turn the light bulb slightly down if I find it getting too warm, but otherwise it holds it quite nicely. Okay, tempered chocolate. And we just quickly test it by putting it on the table and watching it, not too close. Thank you. Okay, and then it'll set in 90 seconds. If it doesn't set in 90 seconds, then it's probably not quite tempered. If it takes 2-3 minutes to cool down, probably something wrong with it. You'll have to re-temper it. Anything less than 90 seconds, obviously, your chocolate's getting maybe a little too cool, and you want to warm it up just slightly. Now remember, 31 degrees for this particular chocolate. Most dark chocolates are around the 31, 32, depending what chocolate you're using. And that pretty much is it for tempering chocolate. Now I will show you how to make a cornet so that you can use some of this chocolate and pipe out some nice decorations that you can make with the tempered chocolate. Hopefully the camera, you can see that setting is already setting, and it's only been about 60 seconds. So, okay, now we're going to show you how to make a cornet. Cornet is just basically a cone in order to use. Okay, I have a sheet of paper. Well, this is what we call a silicone paper, and it comes in a sheet of this size. You can use wax paper if you want. It does work, not as well, although you can buy these types of sheets in the supermarket now today. So all you do is take it, fold it over, because it's too big for me, for what I need. Cut it nice and cleanly. Then all you're going to do is fold it from this corner to this corner. So you end up with a triangle, like this. And that gives me 4. Now when you want to make a cornet, you want to hold it up like this, so that it's sitting like that. This is the edge that the point will be on. So you're going to bring this corner over to this corner, like that. Okay? Then you're going to roll it once round to bring it back to the same spot as this one to this one. You're going to take this now and pull with your thumb and push with your finger in order to cause the end of it to go into a point, like that. Then you turn it over, fold this in, crimp it off, and that makes your cornet. Okay, and then we can fill up the cornet with some chocolate, and you just want to put in a little bit. You don't really need a lot, depending on how much you want to use it for. Fill it up, and you just fold it up this way and turn it around. Where the seam is on this side, you want to fold it from here to here, turn it over, and then roll it like a toothpaste roll. Roll it up. This will keep this seam tight, because you don't want, if you rolled it the other way, it will unroll this seam, which you don't want. Okay, then we just cut off the end. Cut the end off. And then if you need decorations for whatever you need, the chocolate, you can basically do whatever you want on here, and they will stiffen up. Obviously the chocolate will go hard, and you can make whatever you like. So okay, and then this is also great for writing. Write onto a cake or whatever you'd like to write it on. You can make it up and then place it on the cake when it hardens. You can quickly write person's name, the birthday, whatever you want. And that will harden and you can lift it up. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes and you can see they're already starting to pop off the paper, and you can just lift them right off and you can put them directly on a dessert or cake or whatever it is that you want to use a chocolate decor for. They're quite simple to make. If you don't have a design of your own, go on the internet. There's lots of designs you can copy, print it out, and follow right underneath. You can slip it right underneath the paper and you'll be able to see through and write right on it. There you go.